What is up, guys? This is Easy Philosophy, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we will be talking about metaethics. First of all, what is metaethics? Metaethics is a branch of analytic philosophy that explores the status, foundations, and scope of moral values, properties, and words. In other words, metaethics deals with what morality is itself. Last time, we talked about ethics, which deals with what is moral. Metaethics deals with what morality is. There are lots of different metaethical views in the world. One way to understand them is to put them to a test to see how they help you solve some ethical problems. Like a scenario where you have to steal food or lie for a good cause. Or what if you set out to harm someone, but you ended up saving their life by accident? Here's a scenario. A robber plans to rob a family at night when they're sleeping. When he gets there, he breaks the window and steps in the house. When he walks around, he notices a fire raging in the kitchen. Alarmed, the robber runs for the window to get out. When he is running, he knocks over a vase and breaks it. The family hears the noise and comes down to see what exactly is going on. When they're downstairs, they see the fire and evacuate the house. The robber came with the intention of stealing, but saved the family's life by alerting them that there was a fire going on. Metaethics: An Introduction is a book by Andrew Fisher. As we said last time, ethics has three main branches. Metaethics is the underlying foundation for normative and applied ethics. Then there's normative ethics. This gives us a framework for ethics and tells us how we should live. And finally, applied ethics. This applies normative ethical theories to specific issues. It deals with justice, animal rights, and death penalties. Andrew Fisher explains the relationship between these three with an analogy of a soccer game. The players can be thought of as issues of applied ethics. They are concerned with specific strategies of getting the ball in the net, just like applied ethics is concerned on how ethics is applied strategically on different issues. The referee can be seen as the issues of normative ethics. The normative ethicist is concerned with the underlying principles which guide the applied ethicist. A metaethicist can be thought of as a soccer commentator or an analyst who does not apply ethics or interpret the rules, but tries to understand what exactly is going on in the game itself. Is it all subjective, or are there actual rules that must be followed? Basically, a metaethicist looks at the work of ethics and tries to make sense of everything that is going on. So now it would be a good time to explore the major competing views in metaethics. The views which try to tell us what morality actually is. With a few expectations, most views can be divided into cognitivism or non-cognitivism. Cognitivism. Cognitivists say that moral claims are describing or attempting to describe reality. If someone expresses a moral claim, they are expressing a belief. If a cognitivist says that it's wrong to steal, then they are saying that what is going on is something about the world that is either objectively true or false. Non-cognitivists do not think moral claims are attempting to describe reality. Rather, as Andrew Fisher explains, they say If a person makes a moral claim, they're expressing a non-belief state, such as emotion. For example, to say that killing is wrong is to express disapproval towards killing. Put crudely, it is as if you were saying, "Boo, killing." Emotionally disapproving or approving of something cannot be true or false. Hence the title non-cognitivism. You're not making claims about the world that could be true or false. You're expressing emotions about how you feel, which would not be cognitive, but emotional, and therefore neither true or false. Within non-cognitivism, there are various ways of looking at this. The most well-known is A.J. Ayer's emotivism. This uses ideas what we commonly think of when we think of non-cognitivism. Moral judgments are not claims about reality, but are emotional expressions of the speaker. But this is not the only non-cognitivist view. Prescriptivism says that moral claims are not claims about reality, but are personal prescriptions under prescriptivism. If I say killing is wrong, all I'm saying is do not kill, or I do not prescribe killing. A third view is expressivism. This says moral claims express a desire like attitude. If I say killing is wrong, I am expressing a desire I have. Mainly, I do not like killing. It's more similar to emotivism, but sort of an extension of it. Under expressivism, we get quasi-realism, which essentially is a form of expressivism, but accepts the moral claim project emotional attitudes as if they were real properties, hence claims to be quasi-realist in understanding morality. There are, of course, many other views in non-cognitivism, but these are enough to give us a general idea of what non-cognitivists believe. On the other side, there are cognitivist theories, which again say moral claims are expressing or attempting to express true or false claims about reality. First is moral realism. Relativists believe when someone makes a moral claim, they're expressing a belief they have about reality. But they say moral judgments express beliefs about something relative and are not objectively or universally true. There are several different forms of relativism. First, there's cultural relativism, which says moral judgments express beliefs, which describe the cultural beliefs of the society. Agent relativism says morality is defined by the individual. Speaker relativism, which says moral claims are relative to the speaker. This is slightly different than agent relativism, as Andrew Fisher explains. But why is it different from agent relativism? Consider this example. If I say the action of a rebel soldier in Iran is morally wrong, then the speaker relativist would be interested in my moral framework as a speaker. On the other hand, the agent relativists focus on the soldier's actions as a moral agent. Speaker relativists care about the one making the claim. Agent relativists focus on the one performing the action. Slightly different, but both forms of relativism. The next view is moral realism. Moral realism has become the most popular view among philosophers. Kevin DeLapp defines moral realism as the view that moral values exist in a way that is causally and evidently independent from beliefs of anyone and everyone, such that evidence and beliefs do not determine or constitute those values, though they may adequately and reliably measure or reflect them. Moral realism. Moral values are true regardless of what the individual thinks. Individuals may acquire knowledge about what moral truths are and learn to abide by them. Moral values are not determined or depend on the individual. Although there are many forms of moral realism, it is helpful to split things into two at this stage. Naturalism says moral properties are part of the natural world, and it can be reduced to natural and non-ethical properties. Basically, morality would be part of the natural world, and we can discover it. A popular level account of natural moral realism is given to us by Sam Harris in his book, The Moral Landscape. We try to reduce moral goodness to well-being and moral badness to pain. In contrast, there is non-natural moral realism, which says that moral properties cannot be reduced to unethical parts. Moral values are real and independent of nature. They merely describe actions in nature as either good or bad. G. E. Moore famously taught that good cannot be redefined to be something like pleasant, pleasurable, or happiness. According to the non-naturalists, these things can only be described as morally good or bad, but cannot themselves be the essence of moral goodness. The last view of cognitivism we will review is J. L. Mackey's error theory. It is a cognitivist view. It states moral claims can be true or false, but says they are all false. That we are in an error when we make moral claims about something being true, because essentially, objective moral values exist, hence the title error theory. There are many other forms and subforms of metaethics that we have not discussed, but this is a general overview of the majority of the views in metaethics.